I'm Ben, as most of you know, and I'm going to talk to you briefly about homework. My question setting out into this project was, what is effective homework? So, in researching this, I found out that there is two very opposing views on homework. Some people agree with it, other people disagree with it. So we're going to be exploring both of those sides of the spectrum today. Starting with people who agree with it, obviously you have the teachers who agree with it, because if teachers don't agree with it, there's not going to be homework, right? But mostly the people who are really pushing for homework are parents, because parents had homework when they were kids. Parents always did homework, and that's how they think of school. You go to school, you get homework, and if you get homework, then it means the teacher's doing their job. So parents are often pushing homework, and they're pushing homework on the teachers. Give my kids homework, give my kids homework, I need to see what they're doing. And in a sense, this is good, because it makes parents, it connects them, it lets them know what kids are studying in school. It connects with the home. They know what's going on in the classroom because the kids are bringing home the work. On the other hand, some kids don't do homework well. So we're going to be looking at that. First of all, we're going to look at the positive side of homework. So if you're going to assign homework, there's a few things you need to consider. First of all, you have to consider the amount of homework that you're sending home with the kids. As a general rule, as I've read from such authors as Rick Marzano, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, anyway, he kind of suggests the grade level times 10 minutes per night. So grade 1s would receive 10 minutes of homework. Grade 2s would receive 20 minutes of homework, and so on and so forth. Now the problem with this is, I remember as a student in grade 5 getting some nights a lot more than 50 hours or 50 minutes of homework a night. I'd sometimes spend 2 hours on homework on a regular basis. Actually, in grade 5, I spent a lot of time on homework. Why is that? I'm a slow reader. I always have been, and I probably always will be. And that's just something that's about me. And so, therefore, it takes me longer to do homework. Whereas a student, other students in my class might not take that long to do their homework. They might just fly through it. You're going to get students who do homework at a different pace. How do you accurately, as a teacher, gauge how fast it's going to take for your students to be completing their assignments? One suggestion that I read about was jotting down in your planner or whatever you're writing in the amount of time you think it's going to take your students to complete a homework assignment. And as a homework assignment gets completed at home, have the kids jot down in the corner of the assignment, the completed assignment, how long it took them to do it. And then you can compare how long the kids say that it's taking them to do this to how long you as a teacher think it's going to take to do this. And in that way you can kind of determine how long it's taking your students to do their homework, and you can assign homework accordingly to that type of time frame. But as I said, some students do it faster than others for different reasons. Keep in mind yourself when you're assigning the amount of homework, because what's coming in, you're also going to have to mark. And everybody procrastinates when the workload is heavy, even yourself. So keep that in mind as well. You want to keep your workload down, you want to keep their workload down. Everyone wants to keep their workload down, but we still need to have learning. Now, another reason that homework either doesn't get done or gets done very well or happens at different rates is because of home life. Home life plays a huge part in homework because it's at home where you do homework. Well, most of the time. Obviously, homework would imply any type of work that you take outside of school hours to do. Something you're not given time to do in class. So, what kind of things would affect the home life regarding homework? You got if there's an unstable home life, if the student's parents have split up and they're going from moms to dads each week or every other week, that change in atmosphere, that instability, if there are parents fighting, if the student has to work for any reason, really. If they have to work, there's students who have to work to support their families. There's students who have to work part-time jobs in high school just because they need a part-time job, because they want money, they need money. It doesn't really matter. They have part-time jobs, and they have full-time school. So there's that to take into account as well. So another thing to consider when we're talking about the home is how does homework affect families? How does it affect the home? Not just how the home affect homework, but how does homework affect the home? It can have a very positive effect on the home. Like I said before, it's going to help the parents be actively involved in the students' learning, because the parents know exactly what the students are learning. They're bringing home the work. They're going to be able to help them out. They're going to be on the same page as the teacher. They're going to be able to expand on things that the teacher wasn't able to cover in class, because they have that one-on-one time with the student. But it can also negatively affect home life. I want to read you really quick here a excerpt from the Toronto Star, who did an article on homework. Actually, they did a research project on it in Toronto, and the Toronto Star wrote about it. And let me just pick up, here it is. Okay. Not only does homework cut into family time, it becomes a primary source of arguments, power struggles, and is disruptive to building a strong family, including putting strain on marriages. You bet it can. Homework, kids, I think, are probably one of the biggest things that parents fight about. And so when it comes to homework and their learning, it's going to be putting strain on the parents if that student is not doing well. When we're talking about students who are struggling with homework, something to keep in mind is they might just be a slow reader like myself, or they might not have a facility for different types of things like mathematics or English, something like that. But another thing to keep in mind is students who have learning disabilities are obviously going to have a harder time with it, especially if they are integrated, as they probably will be, into an everyday classroom. You can't really say everyone have page 2 in your math textbooks due for Monday, except for you, Bill. You only have to do the odd numbers. You can't really single kids out like that. And so if you have kids in your classroom who have learning disabilities, you have to keep in mind that the amount of homework that you